Everyone thought they were the perfect couple. Sarah and Mike had been together for 5 years, and their relationship seemed unbreakable. They were the golden couple of our friend group, always laughing, always supportive, and always deeply in love, or so it seemed. It all started to unravel on an ordinary Friday night. We were all at a mutual friend's house for a dinner party. Sarah was in the kitchen helping with the food, while Mike was in the living room chatting with the guys. I was sitting on the couch sipping a glass of wine when I noticed something strange. Mike kept glancing at his phone, a frown creasing his forehead. Curiosity got the better of me, and I subtly moved closer to him. Over his shoulder, I saw the name Lisa pop up repeatedly. Lisa was Mike's coworker, and from what I knew, their relationship was purely professional. But something about the frequency of her messages and the look on Mike's face made me uneasy. Later that night, after a few more glasses of wine, I pulled Sarah aside. "Is everything okay with you and Mike?" I asked. She looked surprised. "Yeah, why do you ask?" I hesitated, unsure if I should tell her what I'd seen. "It's just, Mike seemed really distracted tonight. He kept getting texts from Lisa." Sarah's smile faltered. "Oh, that. Yeah, she's been texting him a lot lately. Work stuff, I guess." But the way she said it didn't convince me. There was a shadow of doubt in her eyes. A week later, the doubts I had were confirmed. Sarah called me in tears. "I think Mike's cheating on me," she sobbed. My heart sank. "What happened?" "I found messages," she whispered. "Not just work stuff, personal, intimate messages, and photos." I was stunned. "What are you going to do?" "I don't know," she cried. I confronted him, and he denied everything, said it was just harmless flirting, but I don't believe him. Over the next few days, Sarah's world fell apart. She moved out of their shared apartment and stayed with me. Mike tried to call and text, but she ignored him. She was a wreck, and it broke my heart to see her that way. One evening, after a particularly rough day, Sarah decided to go back to the apartment to get some of her things. I offered to go with her, but she insisted on going alone. An hour later, I received a frantic call from her. "Come quick," she whispered. "Mike's here, and he's with Lisa." I rushed over, my heart pounding. When I arrived, I found Sarah hiding in her car, tears streaming down her face. She pointed to the window, and I saw them, Mike and Lisa, sitting on the couch, looking far too comfortable together. I marched up to the door and banged on it. Mike opened it, his face paling when he saw me. "What are you doing here?" he stammered. "I could ask you the same thing," I snapped. "Sarah deserves better than this." Lisa looked uncomfortable and quickly excused herself. Mike tried to explain, but I didn't want to hear it. I grabbed Sarah's things, and we left. Back at my place, Sarah broke down. "How could he do this to me?" she cried. "I thought we had something special." I held her, unsure of what to say. Over the next few weeks, we tried to piece together the fragments of her life. She cut off contact with Mike and focused on rebuilding herself. Months passed, and slowly, Sarah started to heal. She threw herself into her work, picked up new hobbies, and even started dating again. But the scars of Mike's betrayal lingered. One day, while we were out for coffee, Sarah received a text. It was from Mike. "Can we talk?" it read. She stared at the message for a long time before looking up at me. "Should I? Do you want to?" I asked. She shook her head. "No, I deserve better." With a deep breath, she blocked his number and put her phone away. As we left the cafe, I couldn't help but feel proud of her. She had been through so much, but she had come out stronger. Life went on, and eventually, Sarah met someone new, James. He was kind, patient, and everything Mike was not. They took things slow, and for the first time in a long while, I saw Sarah genuinely happy. One evening, a year after everything had fallen apart, Sarah and I sat on her balcony watching the sunset. "Do you ever think about him?" I asked, referring to Mike. She sighed. "Sometimes, but not in the way I used to. It's more of a reminder of what I don't want in my life." I nodded. "You've come a long way." She smiled. "Thanks to you." I don't know what I would have done without you. I squeezed her hand. That's what friends are for. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I realized that sometimes the most unexpected twists in life lead us to where we're truly meant to be. For Sarah, it had been a painful journey, but it had ultimately brought her to a place of strength and self-love, and for that I was endlessly grateful.